Consulting.
Would be going into consulting.
As a consulting club, Immunity Consultants of Darden.
So I'm going into consulting.
I was doing consulting before.
Got it.
I was a consultant.
Hey, this is future me here. I just want to say everything in this video is alleged. They are allegedly scamming you for your alleged labor. They are allegedly doing this. I can be allegedly completely wrong, or I could be allegedly completely right about everything that I am allegedly saying. Okay, let's get into this video about the alleged scam. Now, if you're like me, you've had to submit job applications, hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. And in that process, we come across some of the weirdest, most exploitive shit possible. And also scams. Scams are riddled in every crevice of our hyper-capitalist society because it makes money at our expense, the poor person's expense. Now, usually these scams involve a fake job posting in order to get your information to sell to advertisers, or to try and get you to spend money on equipment to start your entry-level data entry remote job that pays $140K a year. Yeah, that job is not legit. Now, usually these are pretty easy to spot. They'll be sketchy from the start, overpromising, and being too good to be true. They'll also say things like kindly, or be very broad with their statements like hello candidate. And that's just a few ways to spot these kinds of scams and to stop yourself from potentially getting swooned. I'm very well aware of these scams, but unfortunately, my dad isn't. And in his effort to help his newly unemployed son get back out there and sell his labor to the billionaire class, he sent me a Craigslist link for a job. Now, at the time of recording this narration, the posting has actually been removed, as we can see here. Oh shit. As we can see here, this posting has been flagged for removal. And of course, I'm a mediocre amateur investigative journalist, so I didn't actually screenshot the original listing. But you can trust me, I didn't go through all this work to lie about this scam. Now, you might be wondering why I included that consulting segment from Good Works video, and I will get into that later, but it does have to do with this scam and with this job in particular. So, let us get started. Now, on this posting, there was no place to apply. It was just one link. It was a Calendly link to set up the interview, and I thought this was weird, of course, but I did it anyway, mostly out of curiosity. And I had an interview set up for 3 p.m. the next day, which is what you're seeing on the screen now. Again, being an amateur investigative journalist, I didn't make sure that my screen record had audio on, so all of the footage from the day just looks like this. I did eventually get kicked from the meeting after like an hour and 45 minutes when I said I was, quote, squeaksing my shit, and showed Squeaks' stream that I had in the background. But luckily I did take notes, and I also set up a second interview a couple of days later so that I could get some footage with some audio. But before we get into that, let's go over what I wrote about from the first meeting. The major points I want to hit before we get into the second meeting and hear from the man himself is this. 1, he exemplified the job's compensation, saying that before your 3-month raise, you would get around $3,000 from servicing a customer, to after your raise making $20,000 from servicing a customer. So there is no baseline hourly rate or salary. It is purely based off of servicing quote-unquote customers. 2, he ushers the quote sense of urgency multiple times throughout the webinar to make people feel like this is a limited time opportunity and that they need to get on it now. This is a common thing throughout scams to make you feel like you need to act now so that you don't act rationally. And number 3, after around 75 to 80 minutes, he drops the hammer that you need to spend $97 a month on an air and emissions insurance in order to work at the company. Of course, number 3 is the kicker, and that's where I noticed a lot of people were dropping out of the call. This call started at around 170 people or so, and by the time that I was kicked out of the call, it was somewhere in the 20s. A majority of which dropped out right as he mentioned the $97 a month. Comparing this to the second webinar I attended, where I was a bit more attentive with the participants, it started with around 267 participants at about 45 minutes in, and after this incredibly base king who was trying to tell people that it was a scam, I'll get to him later because he was kind of the unsung hero of this story. There were about 200 people, and then when he mentioned the money, again 75 to 80 minutes in, it dropped to around 140. And when I was kicked out, it was about 100. So people are definitely aware that this is a scam, which is good. Now, with that being said, let's take a little gander at the second webinar I joined to see what this man is talking about.
Welcome in, everybody. Let's just give it another minute or so. I am waiting on a few more individuals. I would like everyone's cameras to be on. Pedro, hi.
The way the second call started and how the first webinar went, I was thinking that maybe this was a recording. And that idea got planted in my head when I was reading some Redditors talking about the same exact scam from the same exact company. But my suspicions went away when he said my name.
Hey John, it's Corey. I know you just called in looking to book a trip to Europe. That's really exciting. How can I help you?
Now, he does this thing during the webinar, and he did it through the first, where he calls out people's names to, I guess, get them to pay attention and put them into the example. Now, I thought that he was just pointing out either fake names or people that were like planted in the webinar, but then he said my name. He said my name. There was no one else in the webinar with my name. I checked. All 267 people, there was not a single person with my exact name. So I knew that it had to be live, and that he had to be either reading a script or something like that, which doing that every couple days for 2 hours is pretty damn impressive. The other interesting thing about the scam and that I picked up on the first webinar is the anti-corporation rhetoric. He says based things about being anti-corporation and that capitalism has failed the working class. I mean, just take a listen.
Corporate America is no longer loyal to their employees like they were 30 years ago or 40 years ago, and that's the reality. The loyalty has diminished from these companies to their employees. Okay, what does that mean? That means, Richard, you can work and have a job at corporate America today, and you can be there for 5, 10, 15 years. They don't really value that anymore as they used to value that back in the day. Back in the day, they would do everything to keep you working at their company. Now, if they need you, they will hire you. The moment they don't need you, they will fire you. It does not matter how long you stay at that company. Okay?
But this rhetoric being behind the guise of a scam is just so gross, and it makes my distaste for it grow more. How can you be claiming to defend the working class, telling these older individuals who may be desperate for a job that corporate America doesn't care for them when you're touting around a fake job position and stealing money from these same people? It's fucking disgusting.
So I want to make sure we're on the same page and there's no misconceptions moving forward. We are not a recruitment firm, number one. Number two, we are not a multi-level marketing company. This is not an MLM. Number three, this is not a sales position, okay? And number four, this is not like a build your own business, work whenever you want type of job, okay? So with that being said, let's go on and move on forward. Guys, I am gonna move into the responsibilities of the position. We're gonna read.
I mean, he's not wrong. It isn't an MLM or a build your own business type of thing, but just because I'm holding an SMG and I say I'm not holding a knife or a sword or a cleaver or a pistol doesn't mean that what I'm holding isn't a weapon. It's just a different kind of scam. So while we're talking about it being a scam, let's introduce our based king. Let's just call him Robin Hood. So Robin Hood had raised his hand a few times throughout the meeting before this point to try and get a question answered, but was met with silence from Mr. Jacob, the founder presenter. And then, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes in, he holds up this piece of paper saying, "This is a scam." He raises his hand again so that he's visible to everyone in the Zoom. And he gets it up for a good 15 seconds, and then he's promptly silenced behind the building. I'm just kidding, he didn't actually die. He was just kicked out of the Zoom call like I was in the last meeting. Now, last meeting, I got kicked out for squeaking my shit and dancing and shit like that. And then in this meeting, I tried to follow in Robin Hood's footsteps and warn the people, but I kind of fucked it up.
That is correct, Jake.
And I barely got a message out before I was swiftly kicked from the meeting. So let's get into how this well-crafted scam starts to crack and fall apart. So hello, we are back. This is a little bit more of a freeform segment of the video. Actually, this is where we are right now. Let's go into how this well-crafted scam starts to fall apart. As you can see, I haven't written anything else because I'm kind of doing this ad hoc. But so here is this was the link to the listing, and then in the first meeting, I saw that Jacob was using this website. And so I noticed that he was being a little, he was hiding it a little bit. He wasn't like showing this part. And this is where I kind of get into the namesake being a little interesting. He never says the name of the company. I don't believe it was in this original listing. This is the only section where I see the name of the company being listed. And the only way I was able to find it was by zooming in the Zoom meeting and finding this link. So I type in this link and it takes me to this where I see the name of the company and then I see what he's using in the Zoom. And I find it interesting because in the beginning of the Zoom call, he does it in both of them. He shows us this. And he says that this is the headquarters or their building in California. But if you notice something, this is called BWJ Travel, but this is called SVH Tours and Travel. So which is it? So I decided to Google what SVH Tours and Travel was, and it brought me to this website. This is the origin story that Jacob of BWJ Travel tells us. This is his father, and this is Jacob. And then this is Edwin, the operations manager. Now I didn't say this before, but in my notes here, but in my notes here, you can't see it. So let me copy and paste it into this Google Doc. Here we go. At the end of the first meeting, he tells some of the people that were welcomed into the company that there's going to be a meet and greet with Edwin and the operations manager. Now I didn't know who the hell Edwin was until I found this website, and I found Edwin. So Edwin and Jacob are working, and so they say that Vic is their dad. Now, this is public information. I'm not like doxing them or anything. So it's SVH Travel, but also BWJ Travel. So then I started to look up BWJ Scam, and then I found that there was an old scam resurfacing about BWJ Travel turned into SVH Travel Agency. Edwin, Mark, Jacob are the main names. Got invited to a Zoom. So this was basically the same thing that I experienced when I applied for this job. And yet most of the comments are saying that this is just a fake job. It's not real. And this very nice commenter tells you about some very common red flags for job scams, which are definitely very true. So then I tried to do some more investigative journalism, and then I found this Reddit post, BWJ Travel Agent Scam and Refund. And this was where I first saw the name Book with Jacob, or Booking with Jacob. Now that sounds accurate. The dude's name is Jacob. It's Booking with him. So I was like, that's interesting. And then I looked at the comments. I'm on the webinar with Jacob right now. He makes it sound fantastic. Glad I'm looking this up while he's talking. I mean, very interesting. This person a month ago was on the same webinar that I was in a couple days ago, and a couple days before that was on the same call. $97 a month certification. When I saw the cert site was theirs and not through a resume, I knew it was a scam. Jacob's full of shit. I wasted 2 hours of my time. I also got wasted 4 hours of my time. As soon as they said we had to pay $97, I knew it was a scam. This person saw the job ad on Craigslist a month ago. Hi, I'm in Jacob's Travel with BWJ online meeting right now. There were almost 200 participants, so that sounds pretty accurate to what I experienced with 167 people, and then also like 267 people, or like 170 people. I don't remember what it was. Let me refer to this. 170 people. Anyways, let's go back to the Reddit post. That's where I also started to see mentions of Mark, and I thought that was interesting because I don't see a Mark on this page. Now let's do some live investigative journalism. I mean, I don't see anything with Mark with SVH Travel. What about Booking with Jacob? I mean, I'm not seeing any marks here. You know what I mean? So this brings me to this website. This is the only BWJ website that there is. And this is all, it's basically just a static page. None of these things are links. These aren't links either. It's just a thing. It gives them their contact information. 1731, which is pretty much the same thing here. 727 West Glen Oaks, 1731 West Glen Oaks. So it's the same building. So that's accurate. And then, I mean, this logs into the agent portal, which you would get if you fell for the scam. And then this just takes you back to this. And none of these are links or anything. So this is it. And then I also saw this review. I called Anelia, and she, of course, created the best trip. Now, the only other place where I saw that name was here. So this is a real person. These are real people. We know who these people are. And they are working for this company. They are doing something. I don't think this company is completely a front. I think they might actually be doing travel agency stuff. But the job that we were applying for isn't real. So there is not only the one aspect of the scam where you have to pay the $96, $97 subscription, but there's also the clients. If you remember, there is no baseline pay for the job. There's no salary, there's no hourly. It is purely off of servicing the customers. So the other part of the scam is that you just never get customers. Okay, I found it. It took like 30 seconds. So this Redditor, obviously we don't know if they're telling the truth or not. I don't have a reason to believe they're lying. So let's just look at what they were saying. So agitated call, where was it? So it's this one with a ton of replies. So you can definitely get your money back from your credit card by just saying that you tried it out for 30 days or before the credit card deadline. I've been with them a week and just got access to leads, and now I learned a week later that they cap it at 40 leads per year. If you get 2 leads per day, I would cap out in less than a month, and then would also Jacob said you average 30K booking. And I'm working on a few that are more like 4 to 5K and way in the future. You also put hours and hours for free just to try to get that first sale, and I still haven't achieved that in 1 week. I will give it a month and then ask myself, will this be lucrative or not? So that was 11 days ago. Redditor asks 8 days ago. The next day they respond, I am still in the program until the end of this month, and if it doesn't produce any sales, I will then dispute it with my card. And then this Redditor comments a day later, I'm still going to do the training. People just scream scam immediately if they ask for payment or whatever. I'll just tell my bank thing. The more question is, what if we actually do make money? It's a mindset. 3 days later, hi, as someone who went through this because I thought it was an MLM company. That is a scam that I regret spending my time and money on. Please get your money back. Paying $97 a month makes no sense. Why is it going to his company? So he certifies directly? No. So we might get an update. I think this video is going to upload before the end of this month so that we don't get this update. But I mean, you could find this same thread, you can find this same comment thread and see if there was any update. But my suspicions about it from before were true, that you probably just won't get any sales, or they'll be so far in advance that, you know, if you spend $97 a month for 12 months, so, you know, about $1,200, and you get and you service one customer for $4,000, sure, you make $3,000, but that's in a year. And you still have to work every day. You know what I mean? That's kind of how, that's the second aspect of the scam that is occurring. And it's the less obvious one because it's not exactly false. You are doing something, but it's just not normal. Oh, here we go. This is the original thread that I was reading. That previous one was one I just found, both was talking about the same thing. So this person, just yet another victim, says that they need a job, wanted to spend $97. I'm not sure it's a scam. They go ahead and sent me the login and subs. And so that was a month ago. About 3 weeks ago, someone asked for an update. Someone else chimed in, said they got scammed by them. It doesn't work like a normal MLM. You complete the training and there are no customers. And then someone else chimes in, what do you mean they're not customers? They said they guarantee clients. They could just lie. They can just lie to you. There were no customers, that's why it's a scam. They're saying that they can guarantee customers is a lie. You just end up waiting for customers with that guarantee and they never come. And now here's agitated call. Once again, this was the person that we were just looking at 11 days ago. There are customers, there's a leads list, and I've spoken to people that exist. The issue is you have to get a sale for a while in the future so money doesn't come right away. They provide you a list of people looking into vacations and post them on their site for us to grab 2 a day. So I haven't contacted people so far, but no sales. You never signed up. So yeah, that's basically what I was saying, is that, you know, maybe there are actual people that exist that are trying to book through this agency, but they, one, have to actually spend money. And 2, it might be so far in the future that you're spending more than you're going to earn, or it's just not lucrative. If you spend a year trying to get this $20,000 sale, sure, you made $20,000, but it took you a year and you worked full time during that entire process. So you only made $20,000 a year for a year's worth of labor. And yes, obviously the webinar people have the incentive to lie because they want your money. All right, so here's the next section of this video. I actually want to call and I want to talk to someone live about this company and see if I can get any sort of clarification on what exactly BWJ or SVH is. I do live in Arizona, so I am one of the parties involved. I will be present during the entire thing. This doesn't apply to me. It's not going to be for law enforcement. I'm not going to record in a bathroom, locker room. This isn't my bedroom. This is my office space. I will say that this is an office space, not a bedroom. No one's genitals or nudity will be in it, and it won't impede law enforcement. So, I mean, there is a call button that will probably give a phone number. I think the best person to call might be Edwin. I don't want to call Jacob because I think he'll know. I feel like he's probably the most in tune with like the scam. What the hell is this? What is the tell link? Sure. Okay, so I guess that doesn't work. What about the email? Okay, so that does pull up mail. I don't use Outlook on this computer. Okay, so that's seems like it's a bust. So let's try this phone number, the phone number that's on the BWJ website. And so I think the thing I'm going to ask is, you know, what exactly is BWJ? But I also saw that there was SVH at the same at the address that's listed on their website. So let's do that. And I mean, this goes without saying, don't call these people and harass them. That's weird. Don't fucking do that. Be normal. I know these people, like, I don't know like how involved like some of these people are in the scam. But I mean, just treat them as human. Don't do anything weird. This is purely for informative purposes. I want to know more about BWJ and SVH, so don't do anything weird.
For calling BWJ Travel. Please listen closely to our menu options to be directed to the next department. If you are not currently a member with us, please dial extension 1. If you're an existing agent with BWJ Travel, please dial extension 2.
I had 1.
This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Thank you for calling BWJ Travel. This is Aaron. How may I help you?
Hi, I was on the BWJ website and I saw the address listed, so I like typed it in because I was just curious, and it brought me to a building that was called SVH Tours and Travel. I just want to know like which is it, like BWJ or is it SVH? Like which is it?
This is BWJ Travel, sir. I'm
Okay.
happy to help. May I ask who's calling?
My name's Corey.
Corey, may I have your last name?
No, sorry.
No problem. In case we're disconnected, may I have your phone number?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you an existing agent or are you looking to join the team?
Looking to join.
Sure. So I could have an onboarding specialist contact you right away. Are there any specific questions you have about our program?
Yeah, like what exactly is it?
No problem. So I'll forward your message and someone will reach out to you soon to explain everything. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. Okay. Okay, that was kind of weird. So there was no way to... Wait, let's see the contact. That's a different phone number. Okay, hold on. So I called this number, and there was no way to actually to book with them. It was only to join the company as an employee. Because the two options in the call were, 1, if you're not an agent with them, and then 2 was if you are an agent with them. And so 1 brought me to that guy where I asked him about, you know, what exactly it is, and then he tried to get me to join. So maybe someone will call me back, like he said, and give me some information about what exactly is going on. So I guess we'll follow up with that. Okay, I'm gonna call. Oops, I did not mean to click that. I'm going to call SVH Travel now.
Thank you for calling SVH Travel. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Please wait while we transfer your call. This call may be recorded.
SVH Travel Verticalist Parenthesis.
Hi, I just called. I was wondering what exactly SVH Travel was.
It's a travel agency.
Okay, and so like I can book with you guys?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I see. And then so I was looking around on the website and I found this address. And then when I looked it up, it took me to BWJ Travel. Is that the same thing or like a subsidiary?
It's our sister company.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. So something I just realized, well, not like just realized, obviously, but as I was watching the footage back and I was on this page, I didn't look at this. I mean, 1995. This says 1993. Vic opened the doors in 1993. BWJ Travel, a premier travel agency established in 1995. But as we established, these are sister companies, they're the same thing. A sister company 2 years after the original company started? It just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. I just wanted to say that. Let's get back to the video. Okay, this is weird. So, SVH is the original, the OG, and then BWJ is a sister company that I believe is founded by Jacob. Right here is a little note of a story that Jacob told in both the meetings. So he told us that from 2013 to 2019, his dad made him a consultant at SVH Travel. And so I want to check on LinkedIn to see if this is true. Holy shit, I found him. So this is okay, I don't want to log into fucking okay. So this is him. He's a real estate agent. I mean, yeah, this is the same guy. Same guy. It looks like he kind of had like a twink death. But I don't see... Well, this is Facebook. I did want to try to find his LinkedIn. Like here's Zillow and stuff, but I don't see a LinkedIn. Which is interesting. When I type his name up, the Better Business Bureau scam tracker does come up. That's very interesting. What if we look up the dad? The dad surely has a LinkedIn. Glendale. But they don't show anything. I mean, I don't think it's any of the other ones. So, I mean, these guys seem like ghosts. I don't think they have a proper LinkedIn of their account, like of their account. But anyways, so from 2013 to 2019, he claims that he was a consultant, and then claims that in 2019, he was the #1 travel consultant in the world. So let's also look up that. Looks like we've got some people here. We're looking for Jacob. That's the name we're looking for. So far, I'm not seeing Jacob. I mean, that was the travel agent's 30 under 30 of 2019. Let's see if there was... Let's see if there was more. I mean, it seems like we're mostly getting companies and not people themselves, but it doesn't seem like SVH or JWT or Travel with Jacob, whatever, is on these lists at all. So I mean, these guys can allegedly be doing nothing. Allegedly, it could just be allegedly a front. I'm not sure. But he says that after 2019, when he was the #1 travel consultant in the world, he switched to an executive position. And so now that makes me think that he made this offshoot of BWJ Travel with Confidence. And I don't know, I tried using the phone contact and I wasn't able to book with the agency, but at SVH, the lady did tell me I could book with the agency. So I'm not too sure. Let's see here. By 2007, we were awarded Apple Vacations Crystal Agency Award. Is that a real thing? It is. Let's see if they actually won in, what was it, 2007, I think I saw. By 2007, we were awarded the award. So let's go to 2007. Travel age, agent at home, travel weekly, Delta. I mean, I'm not seeing it. There's no SVH. Let's see. I mean, I'm not gonna go through all 97, but I don't know. They say by 2007, they were awarded the reward, which officially signified the firm as one of America's top travel companies. Let's see. Maybe there was another way I can find out. I mean, this is Dreammakers Vacation Services, and so they won these awards in 2007. So I'm not too sure. They could be allegedly lying about this, allegedly. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all this is. Their copyright was in 2023. Wait, they have links. Facebook. An hour ago. Mother's Day Cruise. Hosted by that dude. Happy St. Patrick's from Chicago. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking log in. They got the same things here. Is it Instagram story highlights? Okay, what about you? Jesus, fucking jump scare. What about YouTube? A year ago. Is that fucking Edwin? Is that Edwin? Wait, is that him? I don't know. Operated by SVH Tours and Travels. I mean, it kind of looks like him. But I mean, they are actually doing something. What's the oldest video here? I mean, it's probably going to be pretty old, right? 14 years ago. Damn, they got a 212,000 video. What the hell? What am I going to do to get those numbers? So, I mean, here's the thing. They've been around for a long time. I mean, this said that Vic opened the doors in 1993. So, I mean, this place has been around for a super long time. So they were legit at some point, right? They had to have been legit at some point. I mean, they were doing stuff like this for years. So, I mean, they're still active with these. So there's got to be some aspect of this company that's legit. I'm just not sure which aspects are legit, but I do know for sure that these jobs are not legit. They are scamming you, allegedly, and I think it's gross, and I think that you should be on the lookout for any signs of a scam as you look for a new job in this terrible, god-awful, fucking garbage job market. And I will just say one thing. I mean, this is a result of... This is a mix of people being a victim of capitalism, but also deregulation allowing this to happen. Deregulation allowing just scams and fake companies and shell companies to create these fake jobs and tell you that there's something here, but there actually isn't, and that you're just never going to get any you're never going to get any clients. All you're going to do is spend $97 a month, and it's all just fake. To explain what I meant in the end of that last segment, and how deregulation helps these scams prosper. On one end, it has to do with AI. With deregulation of AI, or like having no sort of rules and regulations about what AI can do in the market or in the public sector, people that want to use it for nefarious reasons will use it any way they can, and that will make these jobs more enticing and stuff like that. And then at the same time, when you have less regulatory bodies that are auditing or making sure that these things aren't legit and taking them off the market, or just having official avenues to apply for jobs in the first place, you're just more susceptible to scams, and that there's just gonna be more scams out there. These aren't just jobs in the private sector, these are also jobs that are in like the government sector. And so having regulatory bodies that can find these jobs and be like, hey, these aren't real. We need to get rid of them off of these websites. When those aren't there, those fake jobs can be running more rampant, and they can become better. They can become more streamlined and fool more people. So it goes without saying, regulation is a good thing. When you regulate things that can be out of control and take the poor people's money, you should probably invest in regulation. And yeah. So if there's one thing to take away from this video, it's please don't fall for a scam. If it looks like a scam, smells like a scam, it is a scam. Don't give them your money. Never give anyone your money unless you're like going to the grocery store or whatever the hell. But don't give a job your money, because it is probably a scam. So yeah. Take that with you, and I will see you next time.